Hello everyone, back to make some more soap for the autumn range that I'm working on at the moment. So hopefully my autumn range will be ready to go at the end of August. The one I'm making today is called the Great Pumpkin. I did this last year, but I just made it with just turmeric and I didn't do anything to the soap. I just made it a plain bar and it actually was really lovely. So I'm going to give you a very brief view. No more than that. You can see how I've made this if you keep on watching. This one is a blend of my own of all sort of several different types of pumpkin pie spice and sugary notes and just like yeah, like a sweet. It's kind of sweet. It's sweet but like a spiced pumpkin. So let's get going. Right, I'm just going to put the lye in to this. So it's just one colour and I'm using turmeric to colour this soap. No micas, no clays, just turmeric because it gives quite a nice sort of crunchy feel at the end. So when the soap is like cut, it sort of gets like almost like it's just got like a real rustic nice look to it. So I'm going to put it in now while I mix this in. So here's my turmeric there and that's just 2 heaped teaspoons. So I'm going to stick blend that. There, 'cause I'm not sure how fast this fragrance is going to move. It's not really going to matter too much because it's only one colour. So I'm going to put it in and stir it. And then I'm going to get my embeds ready to go onto the top of this soap because I think I might need a few more than I've put aside. So I'll do that in a second. Righto, so here is my jug of embeds. So I've got all different pumpkins. And I've got an acorn there as well, and stupid phone, different coloured pumpkins, and then I've got a few maple leaves as well, just to so I've got enough to go round because there's not a lot there because I need some for the next soap I'm making as well, which is an apple based soap which has got apples and maple leaves because it's got like an apple with maple syrup scent. Just turn my phone sound off because that's going to annoy me if it goes again. Okay, right, I'm going to pour this fragrance in. So not too much because the usage rate was lower on one. This is like a mix of 2 different scents. And one of them, the usage rate was up to 2.8%, but I only ever use 1.9% in my soaps anyway overall, and that's as the weight of the oils. So I've got enough to sort of play around, so I wanted to mix it and have sort of like a different kind of vibe in there. So it's sort of 2 different types of pumpkin, and one of them's got like more of a sweet sugary sort of scent, rather than your rustic cinnamony sort of pumpkin scent. So I'm just going to stick blend that a bit more because that seems to be behaving nicely. I want it a bit thicker. And let's pour this base into the mould. That colour is so gorgeous. It does fade. It goes to more of a ochre yellow rather than this sunshiny orange. This bucket always catches on the lip, so it looks like I've dipped it into the mix, but I haven't. It's just, it always goes down the side, if you can see there. It always goes. I don't want it to drip everywhere, so just being careful. Right, let's scrape this out. I'm in a bit of a funny mood because I've just been watching Dharma. I've already seen the series Dharma, but I thought I'm going to give it another watch because the first time around it scared me, whereas the second time around I know what to expect, so I know like all the horrible bits, and you know, don't need to be frightened of it, but it's such a horrible thing, but I'm more sort of looking at the psychology of it this time around rather than being sidetracked by some of those really horrible scenes. And I can always like flick past those if I want to and fast forward them, because a lot of them I don't want to see. But it's a really good, well done show, and the acting is incredible. And I don't know what made me put this on today, because it's not exactly the nicest thing to watch, but I just thought I'm going to give it another go before it disappears off Netflix. It's one of those shows, it's, you know, been up for ages. I thought I'll just give it one more watch and then I won't ever need to see it again. So I'm on about episode 3, I think. So yeah, it sort of puts you in a weird mindset, which isn't very nice. Okay, that's scraped out enough, I think. So now we have to do our embeds. Just put you, angle you right. So I'm going to be really careful. The last time I did my embeds in the last soap that I made was a bit tricky because the mixture was thickening up so much, whereas this one isn't. So I've got to be careful how I place these now. So I'm going to just sort of randomly put them on the tops and push them ever so slightly in. There's an acorn. So I don't want them to sink. So the soap's thick enough that they're not going to sink, but I've just got to be careful as we go. Put another acorn down there because I've not got many of those. There's only a few. So I'm just going to randomly place them. I don't really care where any of them end up, as long as the colours are sort of separating from each other. I don't really want to put two the same next to each other, you know. Up there, and we'll stick a maple leaf in there. And then another brown acorn. Went a bit deep there. Stick that one in there. These embeds are just ever so slightly too big to use and do sort of like chunk soaps, which is what I've done in the past with these autumn soaps. And my Christmas soaps is I'll use the different mould and I'll make like a cube. But these, it ain't really going to work because the pumpkins are too big to fit on the size of soap that I want. Don't these look so pretty? Yeah, good, really decent size as well. They're not small embeds. They're really chunky, actually. I could have put them in a little bit, like a little less of the soap batter into each mould, but I wanted them to be decent size. It just means the soaps would be bigger, which is always nice for the customers. That one on that angle. Yeah, this is going pretty well, actually. Oh, frig. She says. Let me just wipe that off. That was typical, wasn't it? Okay. Pop you there. And there's a maple leaf up there. Another acorn in there. And a pumpkin in there. Gotta make sure that each soap's going to get a good chunk in it, you know. So, more maple leaves, I think. And these soaps that I've made are all scented with orange essential oil. I mean the embeds are all scented with orange. Okay, I've got 3 left. What am I going to do now? I have to squish one into there. Cock it up. I've got another one left. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just grab a brown leaf again there, put two together. That's okay. Alright, I think that'll do. I'm going to save that pumpkin. See if there's any more space for some more leaves, which there is. Just want it to be sort of covered, really. No gaps. Okay, any more? I think that will do. This one's just a bit crappy there. Maybe if I lift. I'm just going to lift that one out. Okay, I just lifted one out so I can use that last pumpkin because it's the only one I've got left. So I'm going to pop it in there. Yep, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it like that because I think that's enough. Cool. Okay, so we'll be back for the cut on this one. I'm tempted to sort of sprinkle something on it, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. I'm just going to bring you around so you can see this a bit better. There you go, so that's the top of it. Zoom you in a little, you can see them all. So yeah, I was just thinking, should I sprinkle something on, but I think it's alright as it is, so I'm going to leave it. Rightio, I'm just going to put my gloves on from yesterday, and just use the same ones. I hate the feel of putting them back on, but we don't want to be throwing gloves away unnecessarily. Okay, so let's take the lid off and see what we've got. So this is made in my soap kitchen moulds. These hold about 8 to 10 kilos. So here's the soap. And it's got all our lovely embeds on. I'm just going to bring you in a little bit closer. Right, so let's get this out of here. So I don't fill these moulds right to the top. I've got it set so I'm creating like a lower, chunkier bar now. I did use it and filled it right to the brim, but we had that little poll on here, or kind of a poll. I just asked what you preferred, and of course everybody prefers a chunk. So these are a chunkier bar. Okay, that. So which way round are we going? That way, I think. So it's looking mighty fine. I've got a bit of indentation. It's just sometimes where I think it might be where there's air bubbles in the soap as I pour it in, and then I get this sort of funny mottling on the side, but it's alright. So, can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, you can. Right, I'm just going to cut into these and make them into loaves. So not a lot will be happening inside because all we used was turmeric, but you can see super pretty soap. Just love those embeds. I think they look really good. And oh yeah, I finished the tops with some peppercorns. Where's my brain today? So we've got some stresses at home. We've got another water leak, funnily enough, in the house. So I've got to go home soon and be there for when the man turns up. But I don't know what time they're coming, so I'm kind of stuck at the moment. There's just been so many problems with the water in the house because the previous people did the plumbing themselves, which is a stupid mistake. You know, but then, you know, people are stupid. Let me just get my trimmer. And I need to just get a bowl. Okay, I like to keep a bowl handy just so I can put my scrapings in there from the sides. I like to have the sides scraped off before I cut them into bars. It just saves a long job at the end because I like all my edges to be chamfered. And then So it certainly looks like a very autumnal soap. So I've already made one with these embeds called Almost Autumn, which I didn't film, but I did put it on my Instagram. So that's just to finish off that loaf from the sides. I don't know if you can see that, but okay. Smells good. It smells like a dessert, but with like a real nice spiced pumpkin-y smell. It's gorgeous. Right, what I'm going to do is get my other cutter. Move that out of the way a second. And this single wire cutter I use, I'll bring you in a bit. Just a mo. Yeah, I just use this single wire cutter to cut this last end piece into soaps. So go almost to the end like that, and the side pieces get taken off for samples, and then I'm left with an extra bar of soap. They would make a really nice sized soap to use, but a little bit too big. You look at that. There you go. So yeah, they're a little bit too big for the to go on the sale like that, but to make the packs up. And these, which that's a really nice soap, but these get cut up again into little pieces. The loaves now on this cutter. Nothing's lined up to be like stuck on my pocket. Yeah, nothing's lined up on this to be perfect. It's just going to be cut where it gets cut. So you get chunks of pumpkin and chunks of all sorts. So it's just a plain old lovely harvest time soap with that nice turmeric colour inside. It just smells really, really good. It's got quite a strong clove note in there. There we go. And I can smell like sugar, like a brown sugar sort of scent. Another piece. Just lovely. I love it. Really love it. So out of this batch I get like 33 bars of soap. I've just got one end piece to cut there. I'll do that on the other one, I think. Do it on the single wire. Okay, so that is the Great Pumpkin. And I'll be back for the next one, which is There's a Storm. I'll come down a bit. The next one I'm making is called There's a Storm Coming, and it's kind of based around Something Wicked This Way Comes. I used to make this, well, I used to make one called Jim Nightshade, but I think the name Jim Nightshade, even though it is the name of the character in the film, it's not universally known, so it was like a difficult soap to sell, but with a name like There's a Storm Coming, I think that's it'll work better. So that's what I'm going to do next, but it's a slightly different blend. So yeah, see you for the next video. Ta-ta! There's so many things I want to make. So today I am making, be handy if I could remember what I've made. It's down here. Oh yeah, I'm making two, fuck it,